Hi and welcome to my next video. This one is about the Ressurectionists and mort safes. So the pictures here that you can see are a mort safe. They're from Greyfriars. That's the churchyard in Edinburgh in Scotland. Basically, they were devised because of problems with body snatching. This isn't really something that happens now, but so people that would steal bodies were pretty much called resurrectionists, I think, and the idea was that they would steal them for medical schools to be able to use them because obtaining bodies was pretty damn difficult. So the most famous pair in history were called Burke and Hare, and they ended up resorting to murder. So the profit for gaining bodies was high enough that they would consider killing just to make sure that they got them. Recently buried was sought after because the fresher the body the better, and students would pay to go and learn about the body, and the school needed fresh cadavers to do that. So bodies were limited by the government because only criminals could be used, and with a supply and a limited rollout, the schools tended not to question where they came from. It was so basically people had to devise ways to protect the dead from these people. The mort safe was a cage that was put around the body in iron coffins, and sometimes in watch houses. So the idea was to prolong them being able to steal them for long enough for them not to be worthwhile. So in August 1832 they brought out the Anatomy Act to try and put an end to the practice. So any unclaimed body could be used for the schools, anyone from whorehouses, and people could actually donate their bodies. So you can still do that now. You can donate your body to medical science. By 1842 there were some pretty ingenious people, because their bodies might not necessarily be as useful, but they could actually take the teeth and sell those to dentists. So I find it quite strange because it's about the profit versus your loved one. And there's another one that I found kind of weird because we go to all these lengths to protect the bodies of the people we love, yet the Victorians would come back with these mummies that they had bought from Egypt, and then they would use the mummies for paper making, for train fuel, or to show off with them using like an unwrapping party where they would unwrap the mummies' bodies and take out the ankhs and anything that had been buried within the mummy as part of the ritual. So it was like it's a really weird pass the parcel, I guess. It's just bizarre to me that they would think that it was perfectly okay to worry about your loved one being in the ground with these stone sarcophaguses and mort safes and anything that you could legitimately do to preserve those people, yet you have little to pretty much no regard for the fact that you're unwrapping a body for something to do. So yeah, that was kind of strange. So yeah, sorry, back on subject a little bit. The mort safe was invented around about 1816. They were iron contraptions padlocked around a coffin. They would be removed by two people with keys, so the idea is that it was just damn difficult to get through them. They were put over there for about 6 weeks. Some, however, ended up left in place. There's very few examples of them, most of them in Scotland. Vaults and watch houses came into play. They were used to put the bodies in for a few weeks before they were interred. So they were used in Scotland. There's some in Northumberland, but overall, if you want to see one firsthand, you're probably looking at going up to Scotland. You can sometimes see them broken down and rusting away, and the ones that I picked that you could see at the beginning from my visit to Greyfriars is that that's probably one of the best ones I could have picked. They are in great condition considering they're still outside, and you can actually see how they work a bit. So yeah, I figured mort safes were an interesting subject just because, well, you're not going to see them every day, and you're certainly not likely to see them now with the way things work. But if you like it, or you want to have a look into it more, you can actually go through Google and a few other places. And yeah, they're quite interesting. And if you were looking for something on the side of the Ressurectionists, I've just finished reading a book called The Ressurectionist by James Bradley. It's quite descriptive. It's a very good book. Not going to give away the ending, but it does go into sort of the grislier side of that trade. So if you're interested, it might be worth picking it up. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you do, just let me know. Hit like, subscribe or comment, just give me some feedback, and thanks very much.